All right, welcome to Witchpolice Radio. On this episode, I have two people who have been on the show before, really going back a while. One of them was on last year on a quick hits episode, but these guys were kind of early guests on Witchpolice, like dating back to, I think it's got to be 2014 or 15, the first time either of you were on. And the reason I wanted to have you on now is not just for nostalgia purposes. It's always nice to kind of revisit, past guests on the show, but suddenly I just noticed, like, on social media, there's this barrage of content coming from you. And so it seems like there's a lot of exciting things happening and new stuff that would be a great time to talk to you again. So I think the best way to start this off is if two of you want to introduce yourselves and then maybe just give a bit of background about, first of all, the record label, because that seems like the most exciting new project that you have going on. And I'm going to start with Adam, because you are the more known quantity to listeners in that you were on the show on a quick hits last year.
Yeah, for sure. Name's Adam Parsons. I go by the producer name Madam I Madam, and I recently just started a record label called Rusted Robot Record Co. So we're just getting it rolling right now, and we're hoping, if everything goes well, June 1st is going to be the launch. So hopefully this Wednesday we're going to launch and have a whole bunch of music released on that day.
Cool.
Yeah, so pretty stoked on it.
Hi, my name is Drew Didick. I play in Sporting Man, which is going to be on the record label, and I'm also in a group called the Battle Commanders with Adam, which is also going to be released on the label.
Cool. And so, like I said, there seems to be this kind of barrage of content. Suddenly I saw this, this label. I was like, oh, what's this? Oh, it's local. Oh, I recognize the Up and Adam style art of the logo. I better know who this is. And then the Battle Commanders thing. And then, Sporting Man's been around for a while. What is and Adam, you've been doing your DJ stuff for quite a bit too now. What is sort of the background behind this? Why start a label? Is it just because you have so many projects within your group of friends that you want to release?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I'm in Sporting Man as well, so we're releasing a single, and we just were thinking about a way to release it, and as well as like the Fresh Boys. I've been working with AMC as well and Double Cross. So all this music was coming out, and it seemed like a hassle to try to do it individually. So instead, to start a label and just release it all at once, and then just help my friends get their music out there as well. So it was seemed like it was the right idea to do, especially at this time where, like you just mentioned, there's so many projects going on. It just makes sense to kind of collaborate and just have it all in one label.
Is there so many projects in part because, like, we're coming out of the pandemic? Because that, I imagine that's probably helped to get things sort of moving. Like, has this been in the works for a while?
Yeah. So all the projects actually did start during the pandemic, and now we released a bunch of stuff. And I was kind of tired because it always showed up as like my name featuring something or featuring this. And so I'd rather just have the actual artist and stuff like that, so that it's actually like, Sporting Man, and that's their single, and AMC, that's their single. So then my name's not attached to everything.
Okay.
Like I can just be mentioned in the notes, because I like to make the music, but I'd also like to spotlight the artist. You know what I mean?
For sure. Well, maybe Drew, a question for you then is, what is Sporting Man? Because I've seen that you guys have this band going on, and it seems like it's made up of people who are, kind of well-known people within the local music scene who have been in other bands and other projects, and sometimes together, sometimes not. But what is the background of that group, and what type of stuff do you play?
It actually kind of started. I was actually playing guitar in that band. Now I play bass. But me and Nick Harder, we've been friends since we were in high school, and we've been jamming for such a long time, and wanted to start something new. So we started playing, and Adam ended up joining, started playing the drums. Alyssa Blackie was also in the band, which also played in Up and Adam. She moved to Montreal though, so we needed to find a new bass player. So I jumped in. Troy Styles from Bad Pants ended up jumping in on vocals. So it's kind of hard to explain. We're kind of an amalgamation, I'm going to say, of most of all of our favorite styles of music. The influence are definitely there when you listen to it. I can't really say that we've captured a particular sound. Like, I wouldn't say we're just a straight up punk rock band. We definitely have roots of that. I kind of figure it's more of like an alternative band. But yeah, no, just we started kind of right before the pandemic hit, and then when it hit, I didn't really know like if it was going to even keep on, or, you know what I mean? Just things were so up in the air that whole time for everybody, not just, bands. It was sort of, you didn't even know what was going on. So, but we were able to kind of keep going through. And then December, we got to play our first show, and now we're releasing a single this week. And yeah, no, things have been really good with that. So it's just been fun to keep going. And yeah.
Cool. I feel like I need to push back a little bit on the description of alternative because it's like the most vague genre description humanly possible at this point in time. Like I know in the 90s it meant something specific, right? But what does alternative mean to you? Like, I mean, I'm tempted to call it a punk band just because of the background you guys are in, but I know there's more happening than that. Like Adam, what do you call it? I mean, are you similarly kind of stuck at finding a way to define the genre?
Yeah, I would say it's like I agree with the alternative point, but if you're going to get more specific, it's like alternative post-punk rock with a little sprinkle of hardcore and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But it also has some like other like really indie vibes as well too. So which is like kind of we all like as well because we're getting a little older, so we're not so aggressive. But then we have songs that are super aggressive, so that's why it's hard to kind of pinpoint a specific thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all over the map on it. Like I will say that we definitely we do touch on like every type of music that I think we're all kind of really into, and that's the one thing I actually really like about it. Instead of having 9 songs that sort of sound like one thing, we got 9 songs that sort of sound very different from each other, which is
cool.
it's cool.
Yeah, that is good to have. Yeah, for sure. Especially like you say, as you're getting older too, right? You don't necessarily want to put all your eggs in one basket because you're listening to someone. You've expanded your horizons hopefully since you were like 20, right?
Totally. I'd like to think so, right?
Well, and then so Sporting Man sounds like maybe the odd one out in terms of the other people on the label, in the sense that the rest of it seems very hip hop focused, and that's obviously related to Adam, to your stuff you've been doing, DJing and things like that. But is the rest of it more in that vein of the people who are currently working with you guys?
Yeah, for sure. I would say like most of it is definitely more hip hop, just because that's mostly the projects I've been working on lately. But I don't want it to be just that. That's why I'd like having Sporting Man in my band on there, just because it's a different type. So I don't want to just single myself out as just one thing.
Yeah.
And stuff like, and you know what I mean? Because I just really want to help artists be able to release their music on a thing, and that way they can get it everywhere and it doesn't cost them a thing and stuff like that, and helping out friends and stuff in the music community.
Have either of you done run a label before, or is this the first time attempting to do this?
This is my actual first time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
You've had false starts.
I thought about it many times, but no.
Yeah. Almost the best part was like coming up. So I don't even remember half of them. What was it? Intergalactic Fist Records.
Intergalactic Fist Records, yeah.
Yeah, that was
good.
One. I know. I like that one too. But we ended up setting on. Penny Lane Records.
Penny Lane Records, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little too Beatlesy, maybe, right? You're gonna get people thinking it's something.
Yeah. Oh, there was a ton of weird. I don't even want to get into like when I was talking to like my friends in the Fresh Boys. Half of them were just like, hot mustard records and tainted sauce. Yeah, tainted sauce record co.
So what are you gonna do with? Is this? Are you going to be releasing physical music? I assume so, because it's a label and things are so different now than they would have been even 10 years ago in terms of how music's getting out there. So what is sort of the plan for how you're going to actually put music out in this weird dystopian future where people are all putting out, like streaming only or there are tape or everything, or like what's the sort of the strategy?
Well, I would like to do like I said, even for Sporting Man, I would like to do a hard release. For most of my stuff, I would like to do a hard release, but just depends on it. So but it would be very limited in the sense. So I know like for me and Double Cross, we talked about releasing a record. So I'd like to do a vinyl with that. And then with Sporting Man, I'm sure we would like to release a vinyl. We've talked about it numerous times. So I'm pretty sure that's like easily done. And then with the Fresh Boys, I have a couple cassettes back here that I still have to finish up. And then I'm going to release a limited run of cassettes. I got some, I don't know if you can see it, but they're like all sparkly.
Ooh, shiny.
So yeah, I got a bunch, so I have to finish those up, and so we're gonna do that because we're gonna try to move on to the next project this fall. So
cool. Well, and I think that's kind of the way a lot of people are doing it too. A lot of people I know with labels are doing limited releases because, it seems like I'm part of this market for sure, but the market of people who are, strictly wanting physical stuff, and they're going to get the physical copies regardless of whether there's digital ones out there. And then there's a much larger segment of the audience that is cool with just getting a stream or an MP3 or whatever, or Bandcamp, right? So you have you have to kind of fit the different crowds, but it makes sense to do short runs too, especially because if you're releasing them yourselves, you can always just put out another issue of it if you run out of tapes, right? So
Exactly, and that way we kind of have control, because we had a little experience, like especially Drew can know about when we did the record for Up and Atom and stuff like that. So we kind of know the process of how long to get the records. Now that's probably changed with supply and demand, not sure, but and borders and stuff like that. But
yeah,
like we've already done that before, so I kind of know the avenue to do that again. So I'd like to try it again and see if we can do it Canadian this time. Try to keep it on this side of the border, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, for sure.
well, yeah, and you have that experience of working with Death Wish when they were putting out vinyl for your Up and Up Banana record. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for sure.
Do you still have a box of those lying around?
Yeah, funny enough is like I'm actually shipping those out all probably this week, because I was just
Nice.
waiting to kind of get all of them collectively so I could just go to the post office all at once and send them all out. And then the kid happened, so then I've been a little delayed. So
Of course.
next week I'm going to send them out. So I got rid of 25 of them.
Nice.
So, and
Nice.
I just got a little small stash for myself now. So
That's cool.
well, for Drew and Nick and Josie, if you want one.
Cool. So yeah, like I guess what is the best way for people to check out what's happening? I know at the time we're recording this, you don't have anything that's out yet, but by the time people hear this, you probably will. And especially if people hear this, a week or 2 or 3 or a month or whatever after it comes out. So what's going to be the best way to find your stuff online or elsewhere once it's out in the world?
Well, I'm sticking with using a DistroKid, and I'm just choosing the label and turning my like own thing into a label. So I think the best way to is obviously right now just any streaming service. So it releases it on everything. So on June 1st, there's going to probably be a few singles released, including the Sporting Man one.
Okay.
So we're pretty stoked on, and it's all going to come out on June 1st, hopefully at midnight if it all goes well, of course. And then so I would say like if you use Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, it'll be on YouTube, like Instagram Music. And I'm hoping to get the lyric. Eventually, I'll get the lyrics from Troy and upload, so then we can have like the lyrics also a part of the videos and stuff like that. Make a lyric video and stuff.
Cool. Yeah, I guess that's the way you got to do it now, right? You have to just like dump it on every possible place that people might want to be looking for music.
Yeah, and it helps because I've done that for the last 2 years with just Madam My Madam stuff, so I kind of know what to do, and so now it's just easy to switch it over to the label because I've already been doing it for so long. So now I just the hard part is creating each artist now. So like I've been doing that for the last couple of days.
Are all of the artists based in Winnipeg or Winnipeg related, or do you have anyone right now who's out of town?
Just the Fresh Boys, which
Fresh
are
Boys.
Yeah, because that's just me and then my friend Ryan in BC and my friend Alex and Dan in Toronto.
Okay. What are the I know you mentioned them kind of off the top, but what are the artists that are putting things out coming up soon on the label?
So on the 1st, if everything goes to plan,
of course, yes.
So I'm hoping it will.
You got Sporting Man. We know about that one, yeah.
So Sporting Man is going to be released. A new Fresh Boys song. So Dial a Diddy. That's going to be pretty funny. It's pretty good. And then AMC has got a new track called This Time Today. Yeah. So that's going to be coming out as well. And then Battle Commanders and Double Crossed did a song together called We in Our Element. And that is right now being mastered. So I'm hoping to get that back probably Thursday. And if that is, I want to release it on Friday, depending on we get the art and stuff like that all together. So I'm trying to get it all together so it all comes out. So it has you have a nice like record label sampler and it goes all around.
Sure.
So yeah.
So what do you guys do as Battle Commanders?
I'm gonna let Drew take it away on this one.
Well, actually, about like 10 years ago when we were in Up and Atom, we started kind of messing around with this hip hop idea. We were definitely doing it on a more organic. Adam playing drums, I playing bass, or guitar, whatever kind of better suited it. Definitely kind of fell apart the wayside though through the years. But the more he got into DJing, the more I was still super into hip hop and wanted to kind of get something going. So we started kind of just throwing out the idea of, throwing in some live bass with a DJ and seeing what we could do. And wanted to mess around with it first. Didn't want to make any kind of crazy plans with it without having it kind of work out. But did a couple jams and they worked out really well. And songs just kind of came together really quick. And then double crossed. Aaron kind of heard what we were doing, and he laid a really, really sick track over what we came up with, and very happy with the results so far. So I'm really excited to show the world that song too. And yeah, it's gonna be a crazy week. That's for sure. That's for sure. So.
Is that going to be an ongoing collaboration with Double Crossed?
I'm hoping so for sure. Like I said, we've
too.
all been friends. You know, all three of us have been friends for a long time. So it makes it a lot easier too when it's people you know that you're working with.
Of course, yeah.
But I think one of the things with Battle Commanders that we wanted to kind of try to do was kind of get different MCs on a lot of tracks and work with different people. Like Adam and I both are really into different types of music. And I think that kind of helps us with this because we can kind of get a sample from anything and then kind of have an idea with it right away. So I think that sort of makes it easier to work with a whole different set of group of people. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. We'll see how it goes. But so far so good for sure.
Cool. Are there any plans for any upcoming live stuff with any of these projects?
That would be a good question. I would love to do something live with the Battle Commanders. It's just the logistics of it. I don't know if that's something, you know, on the DJ side that Adam could do. You know, for me to bring my bass and my amp is nothing. You know what I mean? But that's more of a logistics question for sure. And then just, you know, if we are going to be working with a bunch of different MCs to make sure that they're able to do it as well.
What about Sporting Man? Are there any shows coming up for that group?
Yeah, we actually have something sort of kind of in the works for an end of summer. I think it's gonna be more September, but we were kind of hoping for something earlier as well. But definitely something kind of happening in September. Just still kind of working on the details with that.
Right on.
Yeah, so we can keep you posted for sure and let you know when that's going on.
Awesome. And then the best way, I guess, to keep track of you guys outside of, listening to the music, like you said, it's on all the streaming services and whatnot. But as far as finding out what you're up to and following you online, there's all these Instagram pages all of a sudden.
I know.
Yeah.
The Instagram pages, would probably be the best way to kind of keep up with the beat kind of thing as far as what's going on with us. We're going to try to keep those updated as best as possible with everything that's going on. Obviously shows and single releases and stuff like that will be definitely on there for sure. So I would give us a follow if you're interested in what you're seeing right now. And for Instagram for Battle Commanders, it's the Battle Commanders, and the Sporting Man one is sportingman_band.
Cool. And the label?
That is, I'll let Adam do that one.
Oh, that's a Rusted Robot Record Co. All one word.
Awesome.